school. She actually spent 2 years here. Actually, if people have vinyl, I have actually a vinyl album of Connie Francis, it's Italian favorites. But we actually want to just have a moment of silence. We know she's an alumni of Belleville High School. She actually went to school with my Aunt Alma Caruso back in 1955. People want to date there. So let's just have a moment of silence just to give credibility, but like I said. Thank you.
This meeting has been posted in accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975. Would you please call the roll?
Here.
Here. Dr. Massagia?
Here.
Mr. Muniz? Here. Ms. Pacheco?
Here.
Mr. Darrow?
Here.
And Ms. Bennett Meany?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Very good. Okay. Good evening, folks. Once again, please just bear with us. This is our summer July meeting, and we have a lot of new faces here, and we're navigating through some things. So welcome again to our July 21st meeting. Could I have a motion to approve our minutes from last month?
So moved. Massagia.
Second, Muniz.
Okay, and all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good. All right, so let's start off with some reports, and we're going to start off with our student rep, Jocelyn Sepulveda. Welcome. Hope you're having a good summer. If you want to let us know what's going on, we'd love to hear from you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Sepulveda, and I serve as the student representative. I hope you're all enjoying your summer. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all students being recognized for their achievements tonight. In old news, Belleville High School's graduation was held on June 20th and featured heartwarming speeches from Michaela Sinnes, Ethan Nugent, Ariana Neverett, and our very own Candy Dong, the former student board representative. It was a morning full of tears, joy, and community as the class of 2025 welcomed a new chapter of their life. On July 3rd, the Township of Belleville hosted its annual fireworks show at Belleville High School. Families and friends gathered around the football stadium to enjoy a spectacular night. On the 4th of July, Belleville Historical Society hosted its annual color run at Belleville High School with the assistance of the National Honor Society. In new news, a multitude of fun and free events are being held throughout the summer by the Township of Belleville at Belleville High School. All are welcome to participate. Please visit the website bellevillenj.org for more information. Check out and follow the Journalism Club on Instagram at Belleville Buccaneer to access Belleville High School's monthly newsletters with school news, information, updates, and events for students, staff, and teachers. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, everyone, our board has been very, very busy this summer, and we're happy to announce that our new superintendent, Dr. Eric Alfonso, is with us for his very first meeting here. And I must say that it has been quite the difference in the communication and the things and knowings of what's going on in the district. Our committee meetings were very thorough. Board had time to ask questions. So far, I just want to report that we are so pleased. And with that, also, we have a stand-in business administrator tonight, Ernie Turner, and I'm sure Dr. Alfonso could give us some more updates on how Mr. Turner is doing and his company. So with that, if you would like to give us your report, and folks out there who are listening, welcome, and I hope you're enjoying your summer.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, President Meany, Betamini, and board. Thank you to the community for all being here today. First, I'd like to acknowledge Ernie Turner. He's our acting BA. He will be overseeing our business office for the time being as we are in a process of transition with our administration. And it has been a productive few weeks in this district. It has been a very busy few weeks. I I see my wonderful executive assistant, Ms. Yolanda, out there. Thank you so much for all you do, MVP. And I am pleased to share that tonight's agenda, we are recommending 2 of our paraprofessionals who are being promoted to teachers, which it is a great precedent in the community building vision that we have for our district. So it is something that we're very excited about and something that we plan to continue to grow our own. That is the motto we want here. Belleville strong, grow our own. So this is a proud moment that reflects the growth that we've been cultivating here. I also want to recognize some key partners in our community whose continued support has strengthened our schools and are really building bridges with our Board of Education in the town. Thank you, Mayor Melhan, for being here, Assemblywoman Dr. Morales, Assemblyman Venezia, members of the council, Mr. Velez, Ms. Williams, and a very special thank you to Assistant Commissioner of Education, Mr. Dave Corso, for being here today. We're grateful for your partnership and your advocacy. At this time, I'd like to give the floor to the Assistant Commissioner Corso for a few remarks.
Thank you, Superintendent Alfonso. First of all, on behalf of the Commissioner, we wish you well in your new endeavor here in Belleville. We know you will do a great job. Madam President, esteemed Board of Education members, I have a letter here from the Commissioner that I'd like to read to you. Eric Alfonso, EDD, Superintendent, Belleville Public Schools. Dear Dr. Alfonso, pursuant to NJSA 18A:7A-55A, the Commissioner of Education appointed a state monitor in the Belleville School District. The core responsibility of the state monitor is to oversee the fiscal recovery of the district following the identification of serious fiscal accountability concerns. To accomplish this goal, the statute delegates broad powers and authorities to a state monitor to oversee aspects of the district's governance, finance, and operations. Consistent with the provisions of NJSA 18A:7A-55E, I have reviewed the exit plan developed by the state monitor, which indicates that the district, in collaboration with the monitor, has demonstrated and sustained sufficient fiscal stability over the past few years and remediated the circumstances warranting the initial appointment of the monitor. The district also does not have a current balance of a state aid advance. As a result, I am removing the district from state monitor status effective July 1, 2025. Although the district has made sufficient progress to warrant removal of the monitor, a high-quality education will depend on the maintenance of best practices in the business office by a qualified school business administrator, and this transition period and towards meeting the district's obligation and school district administrator, and continued progress in governance and educational programs. The county office is available to assist the district with the transition period and towards meeting the district's obligation under the QSAC, Quality Single Accountability Continuum. Should you have any further questions, please contact me, David F. Corso, Assistant Commissioner, Division of Finance and Business Services, at 609-376-3800. Sincerely, Kevin Damer, Commissioner of Education.
Can I have Mayor Melham, Assemblies, Council, please come up, take a picture? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Alfonso, and thank you very much, Commissioner, for the letter. We are very excited. We're excited and prepared to take responsibility for the Belleville Public School District. Do we have a report from our business administrator at this time, or are we just filling? Yeah, okay, great, thank you.
Good evening to everyone. Having been a retired business administrator, having worked as a business administrator for more years than I care to admit, I'm happy to be here in Belleville now to assist the board on their new ventures, and for Dr. Alfonso as well too, in his new venture as the superintendent here in the district. This time of the year, what usually happens in a business office is that we're usually very busy doing the year-end closeouts and audit preparation and starting up the new school year. So even though it's the months of July and August and school is out of session, it's usually a very busy time in the business office this time of the year for closing out the prior year and opening up the new one. So basically that's what we're involved in right now. I'm going to be getting to know the personnel in your business office. I introduced myself today to them, and I'm very impressed with the employees that you do have in the business office. They seem to be very dedicated and hardworking. So it should make my job a little bit easier, and I'm very appreciative for that. But as we go along, there will be more and more activity in the business office once the school year starts up, and we'll be positioned and ready to tackle any challenges that the board may face from a business office standpoint. So again, I look forward to working with Dr. Alfonso and with the Board of Education as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Alfonso.
I would like now to turn over the floor to Ms. Veneri. She has a presentation for us on our NGGPA and WIDA.
Good evening, Dr. Alfonso, board members, and Belleville community. This evening I will be presenting the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment and WIDA Access results. This assessment was given in this past spring. This assessment is administered to grade 11 students. It is designed to measure which students are graduation ready in ELA, which is English Language Arts, and mathematics. A little background about this assessment: it was first administered as a field test to the high school juniors class of 2023. On May 3rd, 2023, New Jersey Board of Education adopted the proficiency level at scores of 725 for English Language Arts and mathematics. Students who take the test but do not meet the minimum required score on each component have the opportunity to receive additional supports. They can retake the ELA and the mathematics component during the summer or fall. There's another pathway which is designed to cut score from the menu of substitute competency tests such as PSAT, SAT, and AP, or complete a third pathway, which would be a student portfolio appeal. Here we are looking at proficiency scores for ELA. Red represents the state, blue represents the district. We can see that the state decreased proficiency percentage scores by almost 1%, and the district decreased by 11%. Here we are looking at proficiency scores in math. The state increased by 3.3%, and the district increased by over 5.4%. This slide highlights the progress of the class of 2026. We're taking a look at its cohort, how the students have grown from freshman year all the way through to junior year. Red represents ELA, blue represents math. As you can see, there has been consistent growth in both content areas over the time. On this particular slide, we're viewing our subgroups in ELA. And viewing our subgroups for math graduation readiness. As we know, intervention strategies are put in place whenever we receive the results. Some of them are continued from year to year. For example, a revision of the K-12 ELA and mathematics curriculum to reflect the NJSLS, which are the New Jersey standards, that we're now in year 2. We are continuing our 7 through 12 curricular resources, again in year 3, and the same with our K through 12 curricular resources for ELA in year 3. We continue with our RTI, which is our response to intervention, our tiered instruction. This provides tiered services for our students. And we continue to utilize our adaptive software programs to support the targeted needs for STAR data, which falls within ExactPath, Edmentum, Nearpod, Vocabulary, Freckle. This all aligns and connects with our STAR REN. Additional interventions for ELA and math, students' approach to learning, which includes small group learning, which is our block schedule. We are going to continue in year 3. We have seen positive results with that. Before and after school tutoring, which includes our academic center, which is known as CASA, meeting the needs of individual students in small groups. Our on-demand tutoring for identified students for ELA and math. And we also utilize the Albert program, which is for NJGPA summer prep course that is happening currently. And we've also implemented it for a year-long test practice for all students grades 7 through 12. Another assessment I'd like to report on is our WIDA Access for multilingual learners. WIDA Access 2.0 is given to multilingual learners during annual testing window. It is typically administered during mid-February through mid-April. It provides a longitudinal view of language development and tracks our individual student progress over time. There are 4 domains in this particular area of English language proficiency: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Multilingual learners must score a minimum of 4.5 for consideration with other criteria in order to exit the ESL program, which is English as a second language. If a student enrolls at least 2 weeks prior to the closing of the test, the child's will be able to take the test. If a child enrolls after the 2-week period, then they will not be able to be administered the assessment. Any student entering at level 1 essentially has 5 years to demonstrate progress. This is our WIDA Access summary with our raw scores. And again, students have 5 years to receive, to exit the program. And our WIDA Access percentage scores. We can see an increase in our multilingual learner population by years. From 2023 to 2024 to 2024 to 2025, we see a 17.5 increase from the previous year. I just want to speak about student transiency, and we do see that from time to time. It's important to understand what that means, that students move from one school to another, and due to change of residency or family circumstances. Frequent changes in schools can disrupt a student's learning process, leading to gaps in instruction, inconsistent curriculum coverage, and challenges in adjusting to new styles. Attendance also can affect students' progress in school. Let's discuss some intervention strategies. We're going to continue providing push-in and pull-out support within the general education setting, continue with our K-12 ESL teacher coach, which is going into year 3. Our K-2 Foundations multi-sensory program is now entering into year 4. And we have, just to mention, some adaptive software programs that's also connected with our STAR REN that will also support our students. Our teachers continue 15 hours of sheltered instruction observation protocol for our new hires, and we provide after school and before school tutoring with also a multilingual teacher available. Dr. Alfonso, that is the end of my presentation, and I thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. And we just want to recognize all of our students of the month for June, even though it is July, so to all of those students of the month for June in our Belleville Public District and all of our schools. Okay, so with that said, we're going to do remarks from the public. Do we have a motion to open up public participation on agenda items?
I'll second that. Darrow?
Dr. Masagia and Darrow. Okay, well, all those in favor? All right, we'll begin with Michael Sheldon. Please come to the podium. Yep, this is 3 minutes. Good evening.
Good evening. While there are no agendas, paper copies here, I assume everyone has board docs, and so you can reference the numbers that I'm about to cite. All right. We just get started here. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. A few questions about particular agenda items. Firstly, question about 9.26, which is the approving the appointment of Mr. D'Elia to the position of Assistant Superintendent. It's my understanding that the budget that was adopted in May for the 25-26 academic year explicitly removed the position of assistant superintendent. So I want to ask, how can you appoint someone to a position that presumably no longer exists? Don't you first have to have a motion to recreate that position and then appoint someone? So if you could answer that. Number two, you are you're creating 3 new positions tonight, at least the drafts of the job descriptions, and that's 9-8, 9, I'm sorry, 9-9, 9-10, and 9-11. First is athletic director, then is a coordinator of community partnership engagement. That's the COPE position, which I was hoping would be eliminated at this point. And then 9-11, approve supervisor of student health and wellness. With 9.9, don't we already have an athletic director? Isn't that Mr. Mara's position? So could you please clarify, is this in addition to Mr. Mara, or is Mr. Mara moving on to something else? I'm very confused by this, and I would recommend that the co-position be eliminated. I don't really see any need for that position based on previous experience. And then lastly, with my 1 minute remaining, 9.27, which is the approving the appointment of Dr. Malcolm Lash as assistant principal. It just says district. It doesn't indicate where in the district. Is this a high school, middle school position? Could you clarify that? I also want to bring to the board's attention, if you're not aware, Dr. Lash was working for Bogota previously. He resigned on June 30th. You then posted the job announcement for this particular position on July 10th on Applitrack, had it run for 9 days or 10 days from July 10th through the 19th. At 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, the public-facing version of Board Docs, which was on the 19th when this window to apply was still open, already had Dr. Lash appointed for the position. So how can you appoint someone when you're still collecting resumes or you have a job application process open? And I also just want to point out here, if you're not aware, that our new superintendent, before he was hired by Secaucus to become their superintendent, he was a middle school principal also in Bogota. So I'm not going to cast any aspersions here, but I just don't want to see a situation arise right out of the gate where friends are begetting friends, jobs in our district. Thank you.
Mr. Sheldon.
You can answer some of these questions, I would appreciate it.
Yes, we did go over this in our personnel meeting, and Dr. Alfonso, if you want to give the reasoning, we were all satisfied with your reasoning in the committee.
Mr. Sheldon, thank you so much for the warm welcome. Very happy to be here. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to our continued collaboration. As far as the athletic director position, you are correct. It is a revision of the position, so Dr. Mara will be solely the position that you see in front of you today. As far as the vice principal position, assistant principal position, there was a need. There was a need. We have a very large number of students in these buildings, and our building principals need support. I have taken the time to meet with each and every building principal, and that is something that strongly is a need. Because if we support our principals, we support our students better. So we did create this assistant principal position due to need. It will be a shared position at the moment between schools 4 and 7, because there is a high need in those positions, in those schools. So we thank you very much for your support. We thank you very much for your communication, and have a great night.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Next, Ruben Rodriguez.
How you doing? Ruben Rodriguez, Cedar Hill Avenue. Dr. Alfonso, welcome to the district. I'm sorry, I don't know, same question, number 911, the new SEL position, is that a new position, a revised position, or an assistant position? I didn't hear your answer to that. And then I just had some question on 11.3. The wording was kind of curious. It says it's approving the submission of the proposal of the new equity plan. Now, are you approving the new equity plan, or are you just approving the submission of the new equity plan? So it's just the wording is a little confusing. 11.3, And then the answer on 9/11, I'm sorry if you answered it. I didn't get if it's a new SEL director or just a new SEL position.
So as far as the SEL, it is a revision. And as far as, no, it's a revision to the job title. 11.3.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, we are approving the submission of the comprehensive equity plan. Correct.
Okay, do we have a motion to close?
So moved.
And a
Massagia.
second?
second, Leon.
So that was Dr. Liz Massagia and Esteban Leon. And all those in favor? Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Say that about the equity plan?
No, it's fine. You're on.
Okay, we're going to move through these agenda items if you're all ready, but I just wanted to point out and say thank you very much to the business office and everyone else that helped you put together our agenda, because I know this couldn't have been easy and very trying. It hasn't even been a full month. It's only been a couple of days with the 4th of July holiday mixed in with that. So probably days and hours that everyone's come together and that you've been meeting with everyone, trying to get feedback at this time frame. So we really do appreciate it, and this agenda is very good. We want to thank you all very, very much in the business office. So with that said, we're going to move on to recommendations for resolutions for personnel. These are items 9.9 to 9.39. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Massagia.
And a second?
Second, Leon.
Okay, please call the roll. Mr. Turner, please call the roll.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Was there any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Turner, please call the roll.
Okay, Ms. Gillis,
Yes.
Mr. Leon,
Yes.
Dr. Massagia,
Yes.
Mr. Muniz,
Yes.
Ms. Pacheco,
Yes.
Mr. Darrow,
Yes.
and Ms. Bennett Meany.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so moving on to resolutions for curriculum and instruction. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Massagia.
No,
No,
we're
nothing,
moving on.
I'm sorry. It cut off on the abbreviated agenda.
It's okay. It's
All
board
right,
action,
nothing
board-
for curriculum and instruction. So moving on to
Board action, board policy.
board action and board policy. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Massagia.
And a second?
Second, Darrow.
Okay, any discussion? All right, hearing none. Mr. Turner, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes, with the exception of item 11.8. I abstain from that. And moving on to resolutions for purchasing and business services, this is items 12.1 to 12.43. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Massagia.
Is there a second?
Second, Leon.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Turner, please call the roll.
Ms. Gillis,
Yes.
excuse me, Mr. Leon,
Yes.
Dr. Massagia,
Yes.
Mr. Muniz,
Yes.
Ms. Pacheco,
Yes.
Mr. Darrow,
Yes.
and Ms. Bennett Meany.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, and resolutions for finance. Do we have a motion to approve items 13.1
Motion.
to 13.7?
Second, Masaja.
Muniz for,
And is there any discussion on the bills list?
yes, for 13.3, I just wanted to highlight that a little bit. I was wondering if Dr. Alfonso could share a little bit of information on that one.
So we hit the ground running. As we know, funding is a impending issue throughout the entire nation as far as education. So looking for external funding is critical. And that's one of the first things this administration is doing, is making sure first that our students and our staff are safe, because if we are not safe, they cannot learn. So this grant that we will be applying for, it is to rekey our entire district to be on a universal keying system. That way we enhance security. It will be a patented key system that will be unique to only Belleville, so it cannot be replicated, duplicated, or modified in any way, shape, or form. It is essential to the security of our students, and we will also be enhancing the camera system because we need to make sure that our community is safe. So this was a monumental first step in that direction. The Department of Justice will be releasing the awardees hopefully by September, and hopefully we update you with all good news.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Very good. Okay, and moving on to public participation on anything. We'll begin with Mr. Michael Sheldon.
You
This
gotta
is for 5 minutes. Oh, do we have a motion to open?
Motion.
And a second?
Second, Masaja.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening again, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. First want to speak about tonight's NJPA presentation. The 23 presentation is on the district's website, but last year's presentation is missing. So I'm hoping that when tonight's presentation is posted, you'll also post last year's presentation for completeness sake. Just want to point out that in 2023, those test results, which I know was kind of a trial run, only 30% of our 11th graders were deemed proficient in math. According to tonight's presentation, it's up to 40%, which is somewhat encouraging. But I also need to point out, it's my understanding that over the last couple of years, the threshold, the passing score, has been lowered. So I'm hoping that the scores show that all of the initiatives and expenses and staff and et cetera are having some positive effect. It could be simply just that the testing thresholds have been lowered, which is artificially increasing the passing rate. So if you could attend to that matter, I'd appreciate it. Number two, earlier tonight, you had the VIP photo op, congratulating each other over the removal of the monitor and the restoration of autonomy to the district. But I do want to point out that there's been a deluge of lawsuits filed against our district in the last few weeks. The leadoff one, the person with the courage to say enough is enough, was Deanna Arena. She filed her lawsuit on June 23rd. It was well known to many parties, including this board, that Mr. Egan was conducting a parallel investigation on behalf of the state into Deanna's allegations. And with his removal in the 11th hour, all of a sudden in May, it became an incredible imperative. We had to get rid of Mr. Egan after I've been saying the same thing about the district's financial standing and the need to remove Mr. Egan for the last 3 or 4 years. But now suddenly, everyone here is on board with the removal of Mr. Egan. But is it a coincidence that your call for his removal effectively quashes his investigation into Deanna's allegations? So I'll leave everyone else to decide and eventually the courts. The last thing I want to mention tonight, Well, I wish you the best, Dr. Alfonso, now that you're our CSA. When you were first, your name was first presented to us in May, you know you were here and I spoke and I had some reservations about your history. You are coming to us having been the CSA for Secaucus. You were hired by them in July of 2023, and after 8 months, in March of 2024, they put you on administrative leave. And at the time, there were published newspaper articles saying that there were a number of unnamed...
I'm going to pause your time for a second.
All right, yes, all right.
I just want to make it very clear.
I know about the risk of...
I just want to make it very clear to you, Mr. Sheldon,
Yes,
because
I
we're
know.
talking about someone, and
I'm just
obviously...
quoting what's in the newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to make sure it's very clear. I don't represent you.
I know.
But I want to make it very clear that whatever you say, you could be
appreciate your
personally
warning.
responsible. And I haven't even consulted with the person about whom you're speaking. I'm just making it very clear that as you speak about someone publicly,
Yes.
that there are implications for libel, slander, whatever else potentially could be the case. I just want to.
I'm not going to
I got it.
overstep the line.
That's up to you. I
Okay,
want to.
all
I
right.
just, out of respect for a
All right.
person in the community, I
All
want
right,
to make that clear.
Thank you,
Okay?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so according to all these newspaper articles, local patches, et cetera, NJ.com, you were put on administrative leave in March of 2024, and concurrently, simultaneously, the Secaucus Board of Ed said that they were hiring a separate attorney, Peter Fallon, not to be confused with Jimmy Fallon, to conduct an investigation on their behalf. And that report was apparently finished towards the end of last year. And then in February of this year, February 13th, ominous number, February 13th, you entered into a separation agreement with the Secaucus Board of Education well before the normal completion of your contract with them. Earlier today, I got a copy of that separation agreement, which is essentially a boilerplate separation agreement, but I do intend to publish it later tonight online on my Facebook page. But there was a report, the Fallon report, which of course right now is being protected. For everyone's sake, so that we can clear the air and have a clean slate, would you be willing to authorize the release of the Fallon report, just so that we all know that we have nothing to worry about? So I would like you to take that leap of faith and ask the Secaucus Board of Ed, hold them harmless, to have that report released. And if you say no, I understand if you don't want to do that. But, and Mr. Bushkin went out weigh in on this, it's my understanding, since we all know that that Fallon report exists, this board should have requested a copy of that from the Secaucus Board of Education. You have a legal obligation to have made that request. And in a separate communication I had with Gabby, she informed me through email that no effort was made to get a copy of that report. So I have to ask, are you actually technically in violation of law? You know that this report exists, but you made no effort to ask for it. And again, I'm not going to make any insinuations about what may be in the report, but you have a fiduciary responsibility.
Your time is done.
To know what's in that report. So.
Okay. Mr. Sheldon, I'm gonna step in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in for 1 second. Again, I'm not having this discussion right now with anyone at this table, but I'm speaking to you directly. And as a board attorney, I'll say it would be highly unconventional for a personnel record, which has significant privacy implications, as you know, not just necessarily for any one individual, but potentially for multiple individuals, to be released. I know nothing specifically as to the report you're describing, but what you're asking for is a highly unconventional dynamic, and I'm just making that very clear tonight. So I think everybody understands what you're saying, but it's far less realistic than you're making it seem, and it's not just like one of those things that can be waived with a magic wand. The district would not, if I were the district attorney, I would never release something like that. So that's the first thing. The other thing I want to respond to, if I can, and I don't know if there's other people up here who want to respond, but since I'm already talking, I recall, and Mr. Muniz might want to, since he was the one I think who made the motion originally for the removal of the state monitor, I recall, sorry, there he is, okay, I don't know who's sitting where these days. I recall that motion was made back in May for the removal of the state monitor, and again, not getting into any details with respect to the litigation that's been described, because we can't, or at least it's my fault, you can blame me if anyone is prohibited from describing the litigation, but just in terms of time frame, we asked for the removal of Mr. Egan in May, and whatever lawsuits were filed thereafter. There's no relationship between the board's action. The board's been looking for the removal of its state monitor for many years, even from back in the day when you were a member of this Board of Education, and they finally took action as a resolution back in May. So I just want to say that, and I don't know if there's any other comments.
That's it.
I'm not reconciling anything. I'm just giving you, I'm just clearing up. I'm not reconciling anything, and I'm not addressing the litigation itself. Mr. Sheldon, I'm not speaking about the litigation. I'm talking just straight up timelines. Again, and the litigation is gonna be handled by insurance counsel. That's the way it works with these things. That's why you have insurance for matters like that, among other things. But I'm just saying to you that the time frame that you've described just doesn't pan out. So that's all I want to mention.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Thank you. Yes, and we've been advised not to discuss any litigation. Mr. Ruben Rodriguez?
How you doing? Ruben Rodriguez again. Cedar Hill Avenue in Belleville. Question. I'm sorry. The agenda's not working on the phone. Was there a bills list that was passed tonight? Just because a number of people were asking about the transport. I got like 6 text messages about the transportation money, and I didn't see the bills list passed. Just so I could let them know. You could give me a quick nod if it was. It was? All right, cool. It was. Also, is this being broadcast on the district website? Because we looked and I didn't see it being broadcast. So I don't know if there's anybody back there. It is? Okay, cool. Thanks. I like coming to the July meetings because usually we get to see who's going to be running in November. It's nice to see people that actually ran and won. Wish they would have stayed. But that's neither here nor there. But it is here or there because I had a question that directly goes to the couple of people that ran out of here so quickly this evening after they took their picture and bounced, which is par for the course in Belleville. There was Senator Ruiz posted another bill that affects the Board of Ed, and I know I've been up here a few times asking about bills that affect our children, and if you guys know about these bills and how it's going to affect our children directly. The bill is S3961. Basically, long and short of it, it says that, I'm sorry, I should have wrote it down, but I don't write anything down. It says that no kid that can't afford lunch will get lunch, and no kid that can't afford activities will get activities. For instance, school trips, things like that. So my question is, my fear actually is, number one, we're just gonna cancel school trips because if half the kids can't pay for them, the district's not gonna pay for them. Will there be fundraising for that? Does that affect issues like, for instance, I know the HSA, we used to have trunk or treats that we charged the kids $5 for. We had all these fundraising things. I know it's an HSA event, but you guys sign off on it, so technically it's a school event. So now is this gonna affect the school's ability to fundraise and have these pay to play, let's call them, events that the schools have? And also with the food portion, does this mean that there'll be no more bills getting sent out to people who don't qualify for free lunch but don't pay their bills either? So basically, again, I just want to understand how this bill S3961 is going to affect the students and the families of Belleville for good or for the bad. And again, I know a couple of you, I've called you guys out and asked you personally to do this, and I've emailed our representatives, the ones that left. I've emailed them specifically and said that, I would love to see a bill in Trenton that gets put that anytime there is a bill that's going to directly affect our students, our Board of Ed, our students, that every Board of Ed be given this bill ahead of time to be read to all the people here, so that, you know, you guys can know how it's gonna affect you, so maybe you can contact our representatives and let them know, hey, this doesn't work for us, this does work for us, how is it gonna affect us before it goes to Trenton and gets passed? Because so much stuff gets passed there, then we find out about it afterwards. So again, it's S-3961. Congratulations to Dr. D'Elia also. I wish him well. And, oh yes, the one thing I came up here for, I absolutely forgot. The athletic facility down on Cortlandt. I was down there the other day with my kid. She was in the dance room, and I know Mr. Palladino, I'm sorry he's not here because we've had a few back and forths about this, but I know we rent it out to people, and I understand if we're renting it out, we can't use it. I was down in there on open gym night, and there was nobody in the back. Nobody. It was empty. Meanwhile, our U14 team, our U12 team, our U10 softball team are practicing in 95-degree heat this last month. There's times that it could be used. If they're not there, can we get in earlier? Dr. Alfonso, I hope that there's some, the recreation department and you can work together, that we can actually start using this facility that we pay for, that we rent out. Because I was at my daughter's dance recital, and I met someone from North Arlington, and you know what he said to me? He goes, "You have a great athletic facility down there, man. My kids' baseball team uses it all the time, and they love it. It's amazing. You guys should be so happy you have it." And I was like, I don't use it. We practice outside and, you know, in 95-degree heat for our kids, while we're losing to Cedar Grove and Verona and Little Falls and everybody north of Montclair because they practice all year long. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome to the district.
Mr. Rodriguez, just to clarify on the bills list, the non-public transportation costs are in there, so we're good. You can let people know if they're asking you.
And with respect to one kind of bill to another, the bill that Mr. Rodriguez described, S-3961, looks like it was approved and signed by the governor on July 8th. Approved as Public Law 2025, Chapter 94. So, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm not super familiar with this. I haven't looked at it yet, but we'll take a look at it, obviously, for the implications. I mean, it's it looks like it's been in the cooking since May. It was passed by the Assembly, passed over to the Senate. So we've got, you know, it's these are, you know, there's a lot of legislation that's coming out of Trenton these days, and we just have to stay on top of it. And we try our best. Some of these things are more complex than others. This one, you know, like you said, it was the primary sponsor was Senator Ruiz, but we'll make sure all of our clients, not just this one, know of the implications.
And Mr. Rodriguez, just speak of as far as fundraising, we're absolutely all about it. All hands on deck. We had a administrative meeting today with the leadership team, and we talked about securing external source of funding. That is something that I heavily take pride in. I know what it is to stretch a dollar, and we're going to do the best to maximize the use of the funds that we have here. So just rest assured of that. And the living testament of the unity and the collaboration of our team, it's amazing to see how many of them are back there right now. So it's a big shout out and a thank you to them for being here to support tonight.
Very good, thank you. Okay, do we have a motion to close public participation?
So moved. Masaggio.
Darrow, second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then finally, do we have any committee reports, or does anyone want to say any final words tonight in no particular order? So Trustee Muniz, you've got the floor.
Sure, thank you. Well, thank you everyone for being here this evening. I just wanted to quickly touch on the fact that we finally have our independence from the state. So I kind of wrote something down. I tend to not like to write things down, but I want to make sure I articulated myself properly. So I just want to say good evening. Thank you all for joining us, both in person and virtually this evening. Tonight marks a momentous occasion for the Belleville School District. Whether you agree with every decision made by this board over the recent months or not, we can all acknowledge that we've reached a turning point, one defined by greater accountability and renewed responsibility. For more than a decade, 11 years, our district has operated under state supervision. The state monitor held oversight over our finances and governance. But tonight, for the first time over a decade, Belleville stands under its own supervision. As someone who has served on this board for almost 6 years, I know the transition will take some adjustment. With full discretion now in our hands, each member of this board must reflect on the weight and the responsibility. But I'm confident in the new superintendent, Dr. Alfonso, confident in our legal guidance by Bush Law and Mr. Jonathan Bush, confident in our board, and confident in our administration and all the help that they can provide for us. That we will continue to lead with integrity and the best interest of our students and our community. I'd like to express sincere gratitude to everyone who helped tell Belleville's story, to the previous board members, many of which have joined us tonight. I want to thank everyone for all their efforts through it and those who advocated for our independence and reminded the state why we were ready to reclaim it. Your work made this moment possible, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trustee Muniz, and very well said. Anyone else? Comments or remarks on your committee? Doesn't matter. Anyone? No.
No, just,
All right,
just
then
real,
President Darrow.
real quickly, nothing prepared this time, but I do want to welcome Dr. Alfonso to our district, and I believe that now we're going to start turning the page to a new era in Belleville Public Schools. I think it's going to be a positive step. We're taking positive steps and step leaps. I've been a trustee now that my third year trustee. It was a little disheartening to have somebody that was in the state monitor when you make decisions and you stand by those decisions and you decide to say no to something, but yet have it turn around. It's really disheartening as a trustee to sit up there and have that happen. So now to have the autonomous agreement to go forward and not have that happen is going to be like a weight off of our shoulders too as well. I'm not saying we're going to take advantage of the situation, but it's very good to that what we agree to and what we say yes to is going to be adhered to, and it's going to resonate, and it's not going to be like we're turned over at the moment. So it's going to be a new era, I believe, in this district, and I'm very happy for it now. I'm excited for what's going to happen in the future. Thank you, and have a good night for those that are here.
Thank you, Vice President Darrow. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of our leaders for showing up and attending the meeting. Thank you to all of you folks in the back, our administrators, our business office folks. We really appreciate you coming here and supporting. Congratulations to all of our new hires and new positions. I think our board is very excited, very mixed emotions to say, a little bit of hesitancy, but a little bit of, looking forward to this new day. And we're really happy to hear Dr. Alfonso speaking so positively about all of our staff here in school. That means so much to us to know that you have welcomed somebody new here, somebody that is now going to steer this district in a good direction. And hopefully build upon all of the things that, as Mr. Trustee Muniz said, we've been here for about 6 years on this board. Some of our folks have been here for 3, and, it's just so good to see the progress and to hope that some of the momentum could continue, but also where we don't need things, to all just sort of move some of that stuff out of the way and make way for better things. We're really looking forward to that. We have 1 more month left of summer. We hope that you're all enjoying your summer. It seems to be going quick because we know that Dr. Alfonso's been here every day, is working very hard, and we do appreciate it, and I do know that because he's had a very open line of communication. He's been calling us. He's been keeping us very informed. We're all very grateful up here, very proud, very happy, and very willing to, just continue to smile and say good things while we're out there in the public. So we appreciate you and everything that you're doing. And to our stand-in BA, we must acknowledge you too. That was a bit of a surprise to us to have to understand that our BA is not here right now. He's on leave, and we have a new BA stepping in. So you're really talking about a lot of new things happening. And I know that behind the scenes, as Dr. Alfonso has said, everybody's really working hard to keep the pieces together and keep things moving forward. So we appreciate all of you, and we appreciate that hard work. So with that said, please continue to have a nice summer. Enjoy yourselves. We have a little bit of time left. Enjoy the weather. We will see you next month in August for our August meeting. Do we have a motion to close our meeting for July?
So moved, Ms.
And a
Hodges.
second? And all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a good one.